What's up, everybody?
Another year.
2021. Happy New Year.
Yep. Happy New Year. Another year, another
Woo.
problem.
Yeah. Another day and another
Today is the
15
day
cents.
after. Today is the day after the Georgia elections, which got highlighted, which got overshadowed by something else that happened today on January 7th.
This is amazing. That was monumental what they did in Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean, unprecedented. Hadn't been done in 30-some years.
Yeah.
And what did he say? I got one better.
Yeah. He was looking for one better. So they're talking about going back in and impeaching him one more time, or using the 25th Amendment, which means that if he has the majority of his cabinet, that says he's no longer able to function as the job, because of his mental state, because really that's what they think it is, his mental state, then they can remove him. That, or they're going to try to impeach him again. But there's something that's going to happen. They're going to try to move on that. But before we go any further, Willie, let's talk about our quote of the day. Of the week, I'm sorry, the quote of the week.
Yeah.
The quote of the week is, to conquer a nation, first disarm its citizens. Disarm its citizens. What does that mean? Information.
Yeah.
They talk about information, and disarm you from the truth to arm you with disinformation.
And that's where we are. This is what has been transpiring for the last 4 years. Now we got more conspiracy theories. Mm-hmm. Now you have, and it's so much that people don't even recognize the truth if you tell it to them. Because a spiritual, if you say, like, you know what, prove to me that COVID is not real. Mm. And they will go through this avenue and they will not back down from their theory. It doesn't matter if Dr. Fauci said we're going to lose about 475,000 people. That's a lie. We're not going to lose. It doesn't even exist. I had someone today to tell me, I was saying, like, well, you know what? Our guys that's incarcerated, I'm really kind of concerned now, because now we got a different strand that's on the loose.
Yeah.
And I don't even believe that. So you don't say
anymore. What can you do? They're disarmed. They're disarmed with false information, and giving this other set of lies. And what it means to conquer a nation, that's what almost happened today in the United States. A group of people tried to break into the Capitol. And a few hours earlier, the president was saying, and Rudy Giuliani were over there they're talking about combat by force. Let's march over there. We're going to do this. And again, he's such a coward. He said, I'm going to go there with you. That fool went the other way and went back home to his little bunker.
As he always does. And look at all the people now want to distance themselves from him. He already threw you at the bus. But now I resign. Dude, you should have resigned November the 4th when you found out this idiot was going to be the president. Why do you think Rex Tillerson and all those so-called people that we saying, like, okay, because Rex Tillerson come with a cachet. He wasn't like he was a fool.
Yeah.
John Bolton wasn't stupid. You might not agree with all his things he had to say, but this is not a stupid person that didn't know diplomacy, foreign dignitaries. He knew all this stuff.
Yeah, they worked for other presidents.
Yeah, and they were saying, like, wow, this guy is dumb as a bag of rock. He's not going to believe you. No. He wanted those people in place to make him look good, but
just yes men. He wanted yes people all around him, and people that weren't say yes. The gentleman who he was let go because he said, "Oh, this is the most secure election in the history of America." He said he got fired. Why? Why did he get fired? Because he didn't say, he wasn't in line with the loyalty that President Trump wanted from him. And now you got all these other people falling out of line, talking about, well, this was the last straw. There was the last straw. There was so many other last straws before this one.
We don't lost 300,000 people, and you now coming to the term, oh, this is bad. He's an idiot.
Yeah, because there's no use for him anymore.
No, and
they don't need him anymore. He's out.
And you can't just blame him, because he could only do what you allow him to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, the list goes on. Spineless ass Ted Cruz, Betsy DeVos. Yeah. How do you get the most uneducated person to be over the education? That just fucking just like, are you serious? This bitch
probably gave him some money. when it comes to this guy, as long as you have money, and she comes from money.
Yeah, she's money.
So there's probably some sort of deal that they made behind the scenes. Let's do this, because I know that a lot of people that gave him a lot of contributions ended up on his cabinet, which was, they're like, this person has no experience. How did he get there? And then they find out later that they contributed to his.
Yeah, you give him a couple of $1 million, he'll find a spot for you, like the Postmaster General. This bitch wouldn't even know how to lick a stamp and put it on the envelope.
He didn't know anything, but he was there pulling. He was pulling all this stuff, all the boxes off the streets, that was to subvert the vote. So, he's trying so many things, borderline treasonous, in my opinion, that this
is treason.
Man with this insurrection today, I think that he subverted the Constitution by not defending his people, because he sent people over there to do bad things, basically.
First, they want to try to blame the mayor of D.C.
Oh, and Antifa too. They try to blame Antifa. You hear that one? That's the new one today.
Yeah, anybody. Dude, I see this one white girl, and she said, "Oh my God, they're shooting at us. They're supposed to be shooting at BLM. We're the Patriots." Shit. I'm like, bitch, are you on crack? and these people actually think they're doing something right and think,
oh yeah.
I'm looking at senators. I just finished reading the report that came out of DC that said one Capitol Police fessed up and said a lot of the Capitol Police and some police officer, retired or otherwise, they were in that group of people that stormed the Capitol.
Oh yeah, it makes sense, because you saw that they opened the gate. They moved the gate to the side. They taking pictures with them. So yeah, it's very apparent, and that's why they need to fire the whole lot. In my opinion,
all of them need to go.
You got to get rid of all of that, all those police, and get some new ones in there, because who knows what's happening? Because if they can let this happen,
they want to have more happen. Yeah, they open the door like a. I had a screenshot, June the 20th, 2020, when Black Lives Matter marched on DC because of George Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it was so many armed guards, you couldn't even get on the ground.
Yeah.
But yesterday, how you get up in there and with a big old Confederate flag?
Yeah.
How do you go in there and take podiums, and how you get behind Nancy's desk
and put your feet up and be like this?
Yeah, we ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
And these guys, they didn't try to hide themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, like, you guys not gonna shoot them? I mean, like,
no, it was honestly, it's just that white privilege. That's what it is. That's what it is. You look at the majority, and there might have been a couple brown people in there. There might have been.
I saw one black guy.
Yeah, one or two in it. And I noticed they keep playing that one black guy every so often on the loop. Why did you play this shot with the one black guy in the crowd of 30,000 people? I'm like, okay, that's weird.
Just like the movies, you got a little boy, but you going first.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, oh my God. And you know what? I think the most disheartening thing was seeing those Congress ladies land on the floor in total shock. Because you would think this is the safest place for me right now.
You think, yeah.
Them fools knocked out windows, stormed it. I was thinking, like, what? You know what? They made White House down look like a joke.
Yeah.
Because they done way more than White House down. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking, like, damn. Because I'm in my mind, when I first saw that movie, I'm thinking, like, man, they got so much technology up in there. I bet you sooner you come, infrared goes off.
Yeah.
Shutters go down. No, I got more security in my crib than these motherfuckers had at the White House.
That was. It showed the world that the United States is a paper tiger.
I think bro.
So. Look what happened over this last year. Challenging laws. You don't have to show for a subpoena.
No.
Now look at this is the most fortified place with the most important people in the country, supposedly, and you let 10,000. There may be 500 people in that whole place. Ultimately, there wasn't that many. I mean, there wasn't 1,000 people.
It looked like it was a lot of people, but it wasn't.
Yeah. No, there was maybe like a couple hundred, maybe. But are you kidding? You can just hold the fort now. But yeah, you can. I'm glad there's a lot of camera footage, because you can see a lot of the like you say, friends, letting people in. Oh,
They
you guys
came
gonna
in.
be okay? Don't mess up nothing. You guys go in. We're gonna let you in. No, they didn't care.
Nope. These guys taking all kind of plaques, walking around taking selfies.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I never been to the White House, so I'm sitting here and I'm looking at it, and my daughter was saying like, "Oh my God, I don't know how they got in there." She said because when I went to visit, you have to get a background check and everything before you even allowed to visit.
Yeah.
She said, so you have to have this 6 months in advance before you get there.
Mm.
So you couldn't even hardly get a person in. These fools had guns, they had weapons,
bats,
people flags, taking all kind of pictures.
Yeah.
Like, and you could see there was no resistance. They just walked right on in.
Yeah. Basically.
And I saw a retired captain of the Capitol Police Department today. He said normally there's 2,000 Capitol cops. And he said when things like this, they get wind of it, you know, ain't no days off. Everybody's on duty, dog walking the grounds and everything. There was 500 cops, just like a bunch of little Disneyland kids were coming to visit.
Yeah. Yeah, because then they talk, and then look at about, was it 2 weeks ago, a week ago? How many times did Trump with his Twitter say, "Oh, on January 6th, we're gonna have a big old thing over here in Washington D.C. Oh, it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be this." But all this stuff was there, and he knew the people that were there, and there's supposed to be people monitoring these hate groups.
Exactly.
It was all over their pages, all over their pages. Not Antifa, and I'm starting to bring none of that shit over here. It's these white supremacists, it's the Proud Boys, it's all these militia groups, it's these same people that were in Michigan trying to kidnap the governor. These are the same people that you saw trying to disarm or trying to overthrow government, which is a coup, which we talked about before. And that's what's going to happen. And now they're mad because, again, your girl Loeffler in Purdue lost Georgia. And so now guess what? Democrats control White House, control the Senate, control the House. So now they're talking about Biden. What are you going to do? Well, they said Obama tried to do one or two things at first and then try to get consolidation. They said, Biden, you got to go in and do what you're going to do. We're talking about getting Washington, D.C. statehood, getting Puerto Rico statehood. And then maybe talk about that Supreme Court, making it more. That's an option now, right? Again, elections have consequences. This shit that happened before in this last 4 years, it's because elections have consequences. So now the huge flip. What are you going to do? What are we going to do?
That's right.
That's the thing that I'm waiting. I hope he does what he needs to do and just take out all that shit that he signed, get it out the door.
I think he will, and I don't think because he's not going to help a honeymoon first year.
No,
he got way too much. He's behind already. Yeah. First of all, he's got to get out the vaccination for COVID. Yeah. That's the first thing you got to do. You got to make sure.
All these vaccinations are sitting in hospitals.
Just sitting around.
Shipping.
He don't care.
Shit. Yeah.
Dude, I was telling my friend and I was telling my brother when the dude blew up that RV in Nashville. And I was saying like, this is just the beginning. They said, no, I don't think this is gonna do it. I said like, no, this is pretty much the beginning. They even had information on this guy from August of last year that he was making a bomb. Yeah. They knew he was a bomb maker. His lawyer told him, he's capable of making a bomb, but you ain't got no business going over there and searching. Yeah. Could you see you and I telling people we're making a bomb, but you can't come in because we ain't through yet? I mean,
that's it. That's the
reality
we live in.
The way I look at it, as bad as I hate it happen, I'm glad that it happened. Now everything is out in the open.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure every news outlet and every person I saw said like, we know for sure if this had been black or brown people or Muslim or anybody, the casualty would have been unprecedented. They'd all been mowed down.
Oh yeah.
But you saw what white privilege is. And these guys, they weren't even worried about the cops because the cops were with them.
This is systemic racism defined, and I think that's what we're saying. Yeah. The systemic racism is institutions such as these Capitol police officers is visually shown in these two examples with the BLM and with these guys today. And it shows that there are two different systems. How people can still say with a straight face that, nah, justice is blind. Justice is not blind. Justice has been looking through that little blindfold.
They pulls it up every time.
Yeah, that's no. So I hope, and I hope that more people realize that, you know what, there's got to be change. There's got to be change. This whole thing about just kind of going with it, like, oh, let them go for 13 more days. We just got to do this. And no, they got to get that motherfucker out.
Dude, he still got power. And another thing, this is showing you, if you don't change your ways, America, this is not going to go well for you. You know why? Because people like you and I, we tired of asking you to do right.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to do right. Mm-hmm. You say you do, but you don't.
They won't.
And you sit here and you let these guys come in here, and I mean, it's the capital.
Yeah.
And the rest of the world was saying like, yeah, you talking all that shit about what you're gonna do and how you gonna keep democracy in your country, and you can't even take care of your own house.
That's true. That's true.
So you can't say shit.
And that is the sad truth.
And they sat here and let this asshole take down 400 years in less than 4 years because he started day one when he first said, oh, I don't think I'm gonna give you my tax return.
Yeah.
All those
they got the tax returns.
Yeah, he got
That'll be known. That'll be known. Those tax returns are coming in 13 days.
Yep. And now I'm looking at Georgia has a new attorney general. New York has one. And he's not going to be able to pardon himself from crime that doesn't have anything to do with
the federal
government.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at Biden, and I'm looking at his staff that he has put together, and I do see that he has really put some classy type people.
Yeah.
Again, I don't give these guys. I just give them the benefit of the doubt, because now that you got the ball in your court, what you gonna do?
Yeah, and that's what he's got to do. All these executive orders, he's got to cut them out. He's got to be like, executive order done. I'm kicking. These are no good no more. I'm saying, you know what? These are no good. Get them out. Get them out. But with the tax thing too, all these things that he's gonna come in and knock out. He's got to do everything he can in the first 2 years and be like, you know what? Because anything can happen in 2 years. They can switch back. Now you got Senate. You got a Republican Senate. You have 2 years to do what you need to do. Get that done.
You got to get that done. You have no. And another thing, the one caveat he may have for himself is within that 2 year period. These guys have done so much damage to their reputation as far as Republican Party.
Yeah.
They're going to have to really work to rebuild that brand, because they let this guy ruin
that. That's on them, though. That's on them. That's not on everybody else. Everybody else,
on them.
They got to figure it out. You get your house in order over there on the right. Do what you need, because I know there's very good people. And I'm not saying all Republicans are. It's just the Trump brand of republicanism, just like the liberal side. There's a bad liberal side too.
Over there.
There's not. I'm not one or the other. But at the middle. In the middle is where the majority of the people are. So it's a matter of, you know what, let's get back to normal life. Let's get back to politics, how it is to help the people, which is really not to help just a few people, not to disenfranchise others. It's about to bring everybody into this umbrella and be like, okay, you know what, we are Americans, and what does that mean? And how can we move forward as a country, as opposed to just dividing everybody all the time? Because this last 4 years was a straight class on how to divide people in your country.
And you're only strong as your weakest link.
Yeah.
And look what he done to this link. It's just like, I was kind of surprised, because I was thinking like, well, he made a lot of people in Georgia not vote, because they were saying he already told them, or they cheat anyway, so they didn't go vote. So that was in the Democrats' favor. So all they had to do was go vote, which they did.
Yeah.
But you got to work. You got work to do.
Yeah. There wasn't too much of a difference, though. I don't know if it was that much of a difference, because if you look at the 2020 and then this last election, the numbers were pretty comparable.
Yeah.
The numbers were pretty comparable. So if people did stay out, it wasn't too many. I really think the demographics of Georgia changed to the fact that even though they came out, they probably still would have lost. I don't think there was that big a difference. I think that like the country, the demographics are changing, and that's why they're scared. And that's why they're scared. I'll say that every single time. It's the browning of America. That's what has these people scared. A certain segment of the people, because they talk about my country is being taken over. By who?
And that's the problem. Going like,
yeah.
So what do you think? Are you so fearful that everybody, once they take over, is going to act like you?
Yeah, that's what they're scared of.
Yeah, is that your conscience kicking your ass?
That's what it is. You hit it right on the head.
Yeah,
that's what you hit it right on the head. But they realize, but we're civilized people. We're not gonna do shit like that. But they got this conscious of themselves because they know what they feel in their heart.
Because
what they feel in their heart, they think that you're gonna turn it on them.
We saw a great example of it yesterday. That's them going in, turn up, killing, thinking if I just be just blowing up shit and letting people know this is my country. And we're saying like, dude, this is our country too. It ain't like this is 1776 and everybody just came here and now you recognize everybody else. Dude, nobody treats you like what you think they're gonna treat you like, because nobody does that. Not really. When you look at the crime and when you look at all the white supremacists, all the Ku Klux Klan, all the Proud Boys, you look at, and then they try to Antifa and Black Lives Matter. I'm going like, dude, did you see what they were saying in Black Lives Matter? Just like they said yesterday. We just want you to not shoot us just like you didn't shoot your boys.
Yeah.
That's all we're asking for.
That's it. Make our lives matter, basically. Make us matter like you let them, like their lives matter, like you treat them and you let them walk in and do what they need to do. What's the difference? And again, it goes back to the systemic racism part in the judicial system, in law enforcement specifically.
It's
bad. And it's, if a parent is there's a visual, this is a class, and I'm glad everybody jumped on it right away and said, okay, here's BLM, here's yesterday, and that's the part that I really think that hopefully some more people, and you may have to just kind of chip away at those people and their thought process and realize, but there's these, I'm going to say idiots, because they see this, they see all these 100,000 flags, and they're going to talk about, well, no, Antifa went ahead and got all that stuff, and they're the ones that did it. You got the Q guy, the guy from Q with the horns.
Yeah.
Who's a total Trump guy, total conspiracy theorist, nothing to do with BLM or Antifa. But you're going to try to tell me, again, brainwash me to think that, no, don't believe your own eyes. That's what even Trump had said at one point in time.
Yeah, don't believe your own eyes. But I think what's going to backfire on him, if ever there was a wake-up call, yesterday was it, or Monday was it. Because
I hope.
I'm hoping too. I'm hoping, seriously, I hope. But I'm thinking a lot of people, because I saw a lot of hurt people. Mm-hmm. I mean,
even Republican. I was surprised that your boy Graham.
Yeah, he was saying, come on, man. We talk a lot of shit, but nobody wants this right here.
Yeah.
Because
they come back.
How you going to succeed if you're going to disenfranchise millions of people?
The majority of the country.
Yeah. Who's going to have your back?
You've been in the minority for 18 years almost. Yeah. 18 years. You've lost a popular vote 3 times to Obama, 4 times now, right? Yeah. And you've been in the minority. You've been in the minority. And I think that's what they're scared of.
And they say, like, wake up, fool, you already been in there. What has changed for you, really?
Yeah.
You still got all the money. Mm-hmm. You're still controlling the media. You're still controlling the banking system.
The people got too close. That's what happened.
Yeah.
The people got too close to them to say, you know what? Okay. Some people, and and again, you got people out there that are going to look at this and say, you know what? They did this. How can we get further? How can we do better than they did?
Yeah, you got to change.
Those are those opportunists that'll be like, you know what? Just like Trump had this blueprint of how to not follow the law, in my opinion, as president, and do shit and kind of surround yourself with people that can probably make the government into something that you want.
Yeah.
Right. It was Steve Bannon that said, we're going to go ahead and try to dismantle this government. that was at the first year of the Trump presidency, if you go back and listen. So Steve Bannon was a big architect of this kind of
but see,
show.
He wouldn't listen to Steve Bannon either. Steve Bannon thought he was going to listen to him.
Yeah.
And he was going like, man, this guy, because Steve Bannon told him, don't fire call me. Just leave him alone. Because Steve Bannon and Steve Miller and those guys, those are the scary ones.
Yeah.
So that's why they were saying like, well, this guy's the one that's got the clout as far as getting to be president, Chris Christie. So we're in his posse, then we'll get in there and we'll say like, we know he doesn't know government and he doesn't really know how things really work. He just have a general idea because he can just bullshit his way through stuff.
And that's what he did.
Yeah, so they was thinking like, well, we're going to tell him, okay, but don't. Just go ahead and do these things right here. No, that's not what I'm going to do. I know everything. I know more than the general. Bitch, you wouldn't even go in the military.
No, you got bone spurs.
Yeah, and then you have all, and just like his niece say, this is just who he is, America.
Yeah.
He's always been like, he never had to work. He's a person that never had to follow orders. So how is he gonna ever lead a nation when he don't even know how to take orders, let alone follow them?
Yeah.
And so look at us now. So I'm thinking, well, America, if you don't want to see this ever again, you better be changing. You need to be changing right now.
Yeah.
Because there's gonna be somebody else come down the pipe, and they're gonna say, well, we see his mistakes, and we know how to go in here and manipulate this system and make it work in our favor. Why do you think Mitch McConnell has stayed in there so long?
Yeah.
He's shrewd. He come with that old Southern accent. He don't give a fuck about nobody.
No, he'll tell them what you want to hear. He'll keep all those poor people down. He'll keep all those poor people down in Kentucky, sell them a lot of bullshit, come back to Washington. He goes back 2 years, 4 years, 6 years later and be like, oh, well, we're going to do it this time. Don't vote for these people because they're going to do bad by you. But meanwhile, you've been bad for the last 30 years while I've been in power, Mr. McConnell.
That's right.
I'll do it. It's going to be worse out for you. How do you know? How much worse can it get? You're the poorest state, right?
Right now.
The poorest state.
I saw a meme of a guy laying on the ground with a boot on his neck. And they were saying, he's in Kentucky, and this is Mitch McConnell. But when you pan off of it, he had his own arm in the boot laying on the ground off his neck. I'm thinking like, fuck, that's how he has them.
Yeah.
He don't even have to be there. He don't even have to use his foot. It's already in their mind. The Kentuckians, to me, is the best example of the, what do they call it? When they have your mind controlled, Stockholm syndrome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when they just control you, don't even have to be there. They say, don't you go outside today. They're not going outside.
They won't stay, yeah.
They are the epitome of a big old Indian elephant in the circus outside a tent with a little change around him, and he can't pull that damn little change stake up out of the ground. It's in the ground 6 inches. Change this long. He is 15 tons. And they told him, you better not leave us yours.
Yeah.
That's Kentucky.
That's it. And
It's
that's
just
sad.
amazing.
And that's the sad part about it is like, you know what? How come nobody can get in there to give him a better message? You know, I don't know what it is. He's got him by the balls or something. He didn't want to give him $2,000. He didn't want to give him $2,000.
He don't even want to give him $600. They don't need that money. What they gonna?
So we want to give you a rich friend.
Yeah,
you want to get the Democrats rich friend. But that's just going to everybody. That's to all your poor people in Kentucky, the poor people everywhere else that can use $2,000 to get by.
But he gave it to his wife, and she's Secretary of Transportation.
Not no more.
Not no more. And when I saw her, I'm going like, girl, what's wrong with you? Have you seen Mitch? Are
That's
you
what they call
serious?
China Mitch. Remember that they just running that cocaine from China? That's what they were saying.
Yes, I was thinking like, damn.
Because his wife has his wife is those is related to somebody that has all the China shipping containers and stuff. So that's her.
And so she liked power.
Yeah.
But Mitch McConnell is actually the he's Strong Thurmond from South Carolina. They could never get rid of him. And then when they finally did get rid of him, they got Lindsey Graham. But Lindsey is really just cutting his. He almost lost this last one. He really should have lost. So I think he's on his way out.
Everybody, Texas is going to shifting over. You got Georgia that shifted over. You got all these other kinds, South Carolina, all these that's shifting over. It's like, you know what? This way, there's all these rich people that they're trying to make out. This was their last dashed effort, I believe.
Yeah.
To try to be like, okay, well, we need to make our money. Today, how is it that the stock exchange hits record highs today when all this shit is happening in the country?
Yeah. Who's working?
The people that have the power. Well, who has the power and the money to make the stock market move? It's not the poor people.
No.
They're going to go in there. They're going to run it up. And I said this from a while ago. They're going to run it up. Come next week in February, it's going to
drop it back down again.
It's going to crash. Everything's going to crash because their friend, president, is no longer in power. The people that are in there want to help the struggling and the poor, not really the rich people. So they're not going to really invest their monies anymore. So, and he's going to want to tax them. He's going to want to tax the highest percentage.
They are really pissed at Donald right now because they were saying, Donald, we had a good thing. All you had to do was just listen. You know what? And as bad as COVID is, COVID was actually our saving grace. Because if he would have just addressed COVID and not worry about the stock market and just told everybody, you know what, this is a bad virus, we're a mess, he would have got reelected again.
Yeah, he got bad advice. He got bad advice by saying, they were telling him, his advisors were like, yeah, don't go through that mask thing. Don't do this. Don't do that. He just got bad advice all over the place. And I agree. I think he would have been elected.
Yeah, especially when it comes to money. You know how he is about money.
Oh, yeah.
So, so COVID was, in theory, which is bad, it might have saved us 4 more years because there's no telling where we would have been if
this look at this. Just look at today, man. Just look at today. Look at all the stuff that's happening. Just the last, it's sad, man. It's sad. Yesterday.
So sad. It was so sad that I'm thinking like we had a little bit of good news only for a brief moment when we were saying like Georgia, at least they came through. Then they said, you ain't gonna have time to be worried about that because guess what we're doing now?
We're about to go do this.
And I was sitting there and I'm looking at, because on the major news channel like MSNBC and CNN and everybody else, they was covering Georgia. But on the side screen, I kept seeing him, and they wouldn't turn to him. They didn't care what he was saying. So I said, like, let me see what he's saying. So I just searched on over to the Fox. Yeah. Of course, I know they were going to be showing.
Oh yeah, that's the boy.
And I'm listening to him. They lied to us. They stole this election. Oh, yeah. What we need to do now is we need to fight, and we need to fight hard. So when I finish here, we need to go right on over here to this Capitol. And I'm
gonna go with you.
I'm gonna go with you. Right in that limousine and went ahead in that damn bumper.
The hell out of Dodge. He went the wrong way.
But we going this way.
Nothing. He said, "I gotta go this way.
I gotta go," and that's what he did. And this is where we are today. So hopefully, going forward, Joe Biden got a lot of work, bro.
Yeah.
But I think if he actually get a lot of like-minded people. And because he will listen, and it seemed like he can, talk to people across the aisle, because these guys, we're all in this. It's just not, you can just throw out the parties. We're in a bad way right now with the virus, economic, kids not going to school, global warming. We just got a host of shit that's just been sitting on the back burner because this dude didn't even mention Nashville I was like, wow, dude, this guy that blew up that RV, he must have had a little bit of compassion in himself, because he could have waited till like noon. He didn't have to do it like at 5:30 in the morning or 6 o'clock, whenever it was.
No, they put that warning out too. You all gotta get out. And people did leave. So luckily, like you said, could have been a lot worse.
It could have been a lot worse, man, because I've been to that area. And I'm like, holy shit, bro, that's downtown Nashville. This ain't no little small area. And I'm thinking like, wow, this dude was telling you, but he believed in lizard people and
Yeah, Q. That's Q. That's Q. That's
yeah,
all QAnon. That's all QAnon. That's the same people that were in there with the Q shirts. That's the same people. So he was listening to all this shit. And Q
yeah.
is the one that says Trump is the savior and he's gonna save everybody. And that's why they believe everything he says. He jumped on it and said, yeah, well, you know what? They're good people. They let them believe what they want to believe. Da da da.
I don't get, you know what? I don't get so angry at these guys. Only thing that really pissed me off about them, the one thing that just really irritates me is when they uh preaching their belief. It's like we got the inside information.
Mm.
You guys are just a bunch of sheep
Yeah.
and you're not really paying attention. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, so you guys smarter than everybody, right? So tell me why 80, now just do the math. I'm not a mathematician. So if you're right and 72 million of you guys feel the same way, but 80 million said, no, this bullshit, how are you so much smarter?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't you convince all these other people to believe what the hell you believe? But these guys, social media has made it so easy for everybody to be a Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah.
I mean, like everybody just when I listened to that girl yesterday talking about, oh, I can't believe they're shooting at us. They
Yeah.
supposed to only shoot at BLMs. We are
Is that the girl
patriots.
that is that the one that got shot from San Diego? Did you see? I guess there was a post. I don't know if it's true or not, but I saw a post that she said, "I would die for this and that, this and that." About
Yeah,
going, about that.
that
So
wasn't her. This was, but her.
that was a
She
different
was
one.
saying
Oh,
like,
okay.
I'd rather die before I let Biden be my president.
Yeah, but that's
But you
something like
got
this.
your
This
will.
one said, "This is the lady that got shot today,
Yeah,
that got killed, or yesterday."
yeah, yeah. That's what she said.
Mm.
And I'm thinking like, so you go and you've been deployed like 4 times in foreign countries fighting for this country, but you think Biden is the enemy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it almost blows your mind. It's like, well, why haven't the rest of us didn't vote for Donald Trump? Why didn't we do like you guys?
Yeah.
Why didn't everybody just say, you know what, we're gonna storm the Capitol because
Yeah.
and by right they had a better reason to do it because they did win the popular vote
Yeah. And now it's being
both
tried.
times.
Now it's trying to be stolen. We talked about last time. It's trying to be stolen by them, the people that got the least amount of votes and the least amount of electoral college votes.
Yeah. So
So
it's like, so
yeah.
what are you? How can you be upset when you say like go vote, but you want you to go vote, but you want to suppress the vote? When I listen to that
Well, they want
phone
their people
call,
to vote. They don't want people like us to go vote. That's all.
no, and he even said it just like, why don't you just say just make sure black and brown people don't vote?
Yeah.
It would be so much better than saying like, well, just go in Fulton County because you know a lot of black people live there.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
what the hell, dude? And if they act like it's their right to feel that way, and you
Yeah.
should accept that.
Well, they say my country. I'm going to ask you. What do you think they say? What do you think they mean when they say my country, our country?
That means it's just white people country. I know
Yeah.
what they mean.
That's what I think it means. It's
Uh,
not code. It's not
no,
code.
it's not cold. This
They
is my
they are
country.
trying to steal it. They are trying to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is it
And I'm
they? Who's
thinking
they? I
like,
thought it was we. It should be we.
I know it's weak for me. They can kiss
Yeah.
my ass. I ain't been in no other country. I've been born and raised and lived in this country my entire life. My family, my grandparents, they can just kiss my ass, bro,
Yeah.
with that
But you
mean
don't
shit.
look. But you don't look like me. You don't look like me. I said, motherfucker, you don't look like the people who were here first. So calm
That's
down
right.
with
But
that
look
shit.
at them first.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
like what about
You want to talk about the first people?
yeah.
Yeah, man. It's sad. It's disheartening with just all this stuff that's happening. But you know what? We just got to
And
take
it's
a step back, take a
2021.
breath, see what happens. 2021, 7 days in, new year, new problems, as they say.
Yeah. So only thing we can hope for is that I really wish if they don't remove him in the next 13 or 14 days, they need to just suppress all his power. Don't let him even buy a bubble gum.
Yeah.
Because this dude got the nuclear codes. I hope they have
Yeah.
if we thinking about this, they have really got to be thinking about change
Yeah.
these codes right
Hopefully.
away.
Hopefully they're doing that. I know because they're talking about because Pence is nowhere to be found today. And then there's all this talk about the 25th Amendment. So hopefully they're thinking about something. And I know it's the majority of the cabinet, but so say if there's 25, you need like 13, right? 12, 13.
Yeah.
But if you have five that left, right? Now you
It's
have
down.
20. Now you need is 11. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So
So
So going forward, we just need to get to the 20th.
Yeah.
And just say like, okay, Joe, you up next. You don't even have time to go to cocktail. You just gotta soon. No. You shouldn't even do your inauguration party. You just say like, just square me in while I'm working.
Yeah.
Because that's how much work you got to do.
Disinfect the White House. Get them out. Get in. Do your thing.
Yeah.
Just go. Well, because all right, man. Well, it's a new year.
So we're gonna.
And we back at it.
We're just gonna start now, and just hopefully the next time we meet, things are gonna start looking better.
Yeah.
At least sounding better anyway.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Because we hadn't had any clarity in a long time. So we can just get somebody to even sound like they can complete a sentence, paragraph, recite policies and
verbs,
what we need to
verbs
do.
And nouns.
Yeah, just a little simple shit. We ain't asking much right now.
No.
Just get him out of here. So that's what we're at, bro. So
all right. Well, I'm glad we're back having the conversation, and yeah, this is a hell of a week. That's a hell of a week, man. So I guess we're hoping to talk about new things, but hey, this is just the topic. This is what it is. COVID and this. Let's see what happens. Hopefully, that's a smooth transition going forward. This is part of the transition. It's not smooth, so we can't call this a smooth transition. So hopefully, moving forward, it gets to be smooth. You know?
Yeah, maybe this right here was saying like, okay, we see this idiot is serious about being so disruptive.
Yeah,
this is it right here, and I think what will really get their attention is all those people they arrested. They gotta hand down sentence that let them know the next.
Oh yeah, they have to find them. Yeah. They have to find these people and make examples out of them. You have to. This is the United States Capitol building. You have to make. If you don't, you're giving green light for somebody else to go and do something. Yeah. That's what they're doing. If they don't do something, they're giving green light, because you know what? Now there's precedent. This is the precedent. They have to establish that precedent, as this is going to be a penalty if you try to do this shit. Yeah. But if they don't, okay. When they go to court, that's the precedent is low. Okay, I'm gonna go do
now that. They're just gonna go to Denny's and say like, "This is what we're gonna do next week."
For real. For real. All right, well let's wrap it up there. Nice chopping it up with you again. 2021 is a new year. Let's hope for better things in 2020.
It's gonna get better.
2020 vision is hindsight, like you said. It's done.
Yep. Look forward.
Move forward. All right, my brother.
All right, my brother.
Be safe. Take care of yourself. Take care of the fam.
Take care of yourself.
And we'll see you next week.
Peace out.